Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and informations on Path of Exile. And the first news this week is a bunch of community asked questions where GGG just went ahead and explained how things works pretty much. So if you want to understand a little bit more of the game, these are definitely interesting to read. Also, the latest episode of the Lionize Watch podcast was live this Sunday, and it featured Rory Rackham, which is the senior game designer at GGG, as a guest, and he had some nice answers. So again, if you are interested in knowing kind of how GGG thinks, how they do stuff, and where the game might be going, definitely check the podcast out. Some questions are the same questions as always, but some others are actually very interesting, so definitely recommending the podcast here. Also, we got a development manifesto post about Essence, and the news is that Essence will make it in the game as a core mechanic. This, I personally think, was pretty obvious, because Essences are kind of good and they definitely follow the most successful formula for all the leagues. For example, Ambush, where you had the strong boxes. It's kind of the thing where you can choose to get the fight if you want. If you don't, you just ignore it. And that's why I think Breach also will have a chance, depending on how that plays out. But still, Essence is now effectively a core game mechanic, and of course it's been tweaked a little bit. Just a couple of Essences have been tweaked, nothing too strong or too nerfed. On the other side, of course, it's not going to be as common as it was in the league, because it's not another Essence league forever. So what's going to happen is you will find Essences at around 1/6 of the current rate. So definitely a lot less common, but still they're going to be pretty interesting. GGG also found out that players or on lower levels would actually learn how to use currency through Essences, because they will use it and understand a bit more. So definitely a good thing that Essence is remaining in the game, and the fights for the Essences are not going to be tweaked anymore, because they were already kind of fixed or balanced in 2.4.1 and 2.4.2, so those are pretty much done. And I think that's good news overall. And also, we got a sneak peek at some of the new unique items. There's going to be a lot of new uniques. These are just a couple more. The first two over here are common uniques. First one is Ewar's Mirage, and it's pretty much an elemental sword. And the particularity of this sword is that attacks chain an additional time when in main hand, and attacks have an additional projectile when in offhand. I can see it used in an offhand. I don't know about main hand, but maybe you can wear two of those and go full elemental, wild strike, and benefits from all of these things. That might actually be interesting. Who knows? Someone will definitely try. Also, if you see this screenshot above here, it looks like it already has a 3D art and looks pretty damn cool. So, nice item there. The other one, Shade of Solaris, is a wand which grants 20% of elemental damage as extra chaos. I don't think there's any other item which converts elemental directly to chaos. Not sure about that, don't quote me on that yet. Critical strike deals no damage. However, if you crit recently, you will have 120% increased spell damage, so definitely balances out. If you go crit, you can get a lot of spell damage. If you don't crit, you still have all the other damage anyway. So I still think this is more of a crit wand, and probably dual wielding this will give you a lot of spell damage boost, although might not be worth it compared to just having a shield with spell damage. So we'll have to see. It is just level 30, so it might be a good level wand. We'll see about that. And now, two uniques which come from the breaches. The first one is a bow. It's a fire bow. If you remember last episode of the news recap, we saw a very, very strong fire bow, which is pretty much the evolution of this bow. So with the breach, we saw that you can upgrade breach items, breach uniques, with a special item which is dropped by breach lords, And this bow, which is kind of low level, level 23, and it's pretty good for that level, you can upgrade it for the new bow, which is pretty damn strong. So definitely interesting that you can start with a weapon from early level and upgrade it and kind of bring it with you to the late game. I really like this concept, although you cannot probably do it with your first character, which is always a shame. Anyway, another item, which is this time is the upgraded version of an amulet, and you can see this is incredibly build defining because it has Avatar of Fire, so it locks you into a fire build. It has a 10% increased strength, so definitely good overall. It might even be good for Iron Will. It's been a long time since Iron Will actually had a decent appearance in the scene, so maybe we'll see the return of it. Who knows? Also, 10% increase maximum life is absolutely crazy and might be like a very good item, maybe even best in slot for Righteous Fire build. Who knows? Definitely a really strong item nonetheless. So definitely I'm really happy to see some build defining items and the items you can actually build around that have more than just simple stats. So I think this league is going to be very interesting with all these new uniques and the mechanics. And yeah, the older leagues are ending in 2 days on the 28th, while on December the 2nd it's going to be breach time. So, well, be ready for it. I'm sure next week we'll see a lot of the most interesting things, like all of the changes, the patch notes, what's nerfed, what's not nerfed, and the challenges, so be ready for that. And yeah, I guess that was all for this week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all. I've been your host Torzo, and I'll see you guys the next time.